So one of the greatest questions I think we all have is knowing our tafkid, knowing why we're on this earth, our purpose. So there's a lot of answers to this. What you're talented in and what you're good at, and that's true. Meaning, if you've been given things, whether it's a talent or resources or safety or security or even challenge in which you've emerged from it, whatever you're given in life, you have to look at it from a lens of how do I use it for the betterment of my people in the world. So right away, part of one's tafkid, one's purpose, is connected to the things that they have, and with an understanding that it's meant to be shared, it's meant to be leveraged to help the world. But I think there's a deeper aspect to tafkid, which I think gets lost. And that, in my opinion, in that most of us are sitting around looking for a macro tafkid. Like, what's the big thing I got to do? And I think a lot of that is Hollywood. A lot of that is, you know, stories and stories of people that were, said that I'm in this earth to build this nonprofit or start this company, and like, as if life is sort of like has like a uni focus. Now, there is sometimes that happens, but for the most part, you find your tafkid in the micro, right? Your tafkid really changes based on the moment. So I'll give you an example. Recently, I was talking to a rabbi, a very holy rabbi, and he was explaining to me that he was talking to somebody who was a very, very prominent nonprofit leader. And he was trying to explain to him that one of his kids was struggling in school, and that his tafkid, his purpose, was to spend time with that kid. Now the leader was fighting back and saying, "You don't get it. Like, this kid requires an enormous amount of time, and in that time, you know what I could be doing for other people? Like, 2 hours a day is massive for someone who's running a large nonprofit. He could be coming up with programs to help hundreds and thousands." And the rabbi was like explaining, like, "Yeah, you got it, but like, that's not your purpose. Like, God gave you a kid, or gave you kids, and this one needs you. So you have to take care of your kids. You don't have to take care of the world. The world is like, maybe yes, maybe no. It probably is connected to your task, but you know for sure if you've been given a child that needs your attention, that's your tafkid." And I think people get lost in that. I think people get lost in the drama of the tafkid. Right? Everyone wants to be like the big influencer, but to actually pray with kavana, well, that's not really it, right? To sit around and try to figure something out in Torah, to eat properly, to spend your day with the things that God puts in front of you. It depends. If everyone's looking and it's a big deal, I'll do it. But if not, I won't, right? So it's very important that when someone thinks of tafkid, they realize that probably most of their tafkid is right in front of them. And if they do those jobs with eagerness and with vigor and with happiness, they'll get more and more jobs to do. So if someone is worried or anxious about what is my tafkid, they're probably not looking for their tafkid. They're probably looking to feel important and looking for a big enough tafkid to do. If somebody wakes up in the morning and says, "I'm aware of my skills, I'm aware of my talents, they all come from God. I'm also aware of what's in front of my face today and what God has put in front of me, whether it's a mitzvah or an obligation or a human being, and my job is to really look at my day and ask myself, how do I do it with the greatest amount of energy and enthusiasm and holiness?" My sense is that's sort of where you find your tafkid.